Julia Brown and Jonah Hauer King.
Come on in. Have a seat, Sean. Here we are. All right. How are you doing? Hello, Jonah. Hello. And Julia, have a seat. Yeah, wandered through the bunker to get to us there, Sean.
Oh, yeah, we
very
just
honest.
noticed that, yeah.
So, I mean, it looks epic from what we've seen by that little trailer there. And actually, the premiere is going to be pretty epic too. A beautiful setting, we understand, at Manchester Cathedral.
Yeah, that's... do you know about
How's it going to work?
I did, yeah.
I do know.
We're doing it up. We're going up in Manchester, which is nice because we shot half the series up there,
right.
So it kind of feels almost like a bit of a homecoming. We're doing London, Manchester, then we're going to Warsaw as well, which obviously feels pertinent and poignant. And so yeah, it's exciting.
Lovely. It's in a church. Do you remember the last time you were in church?
Oh.
OK.
The premiere will take care of it all.
But this is the thing, I mean, you know, you're going to be there Sunday night. It's a big old gig for you two, isn't it, to be doing this evening?
It's very exciting for both of us.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to be playing young, independent roles. They're both very different, and it's a young, fresh cast, but also working with greats
with
like
the legend
Sean
that is Sean Bean. Well, we'll get to that in a little while. More on World on Fire in just a moment. But first up...
Cutting words from Leslie there. Sean, this is set to be such an epic series for us all to watch, and it's based, obviously, on real life characters. How did you go about researching Douglas?
Well, I read up about it. It's something I've always been interested in, the Second World War. I think many people have a fascination for the Second World War and how it all began. And I had a great interest in the First World War as well, and that's where my character first appears. He has such a horrific time in the First World War. He sees this kind of wanton slaughter, these futile battles going backwards and forwards, and because of that, that's very much colours his anything to do with the Second World War. He's very kind of sceptical of that because he was a victim of a mustard gas attack, and he just gets flashbacks and seen a lot of slaughter and bad nightmares, anxiety, and that's so mentally disturbed by it, but that he's become a pacifist, and he's trying to persuade everyone to try and figure another way around this war.
And as Clara was saying, they're based on real people, real stories, diary entries, all sorts. And your character, Julia, is actually based on the writer's grandma. Is that right? So tell us about her and what was that like?
I was really lucky. Before I started, I had a chat with Peter, our writer, and he showed me a picture of the real-life Lois, and that was his grandmother.
Right.
And her best friend in this story is a character called Connie, and it was based on a real friendship of these two women who sang together. They had a musical act. I think for me, because I hadn't really sang jazz before, but it was such a pleasure to get to learn how to sing jazz. I worked with an amazing guy, Matt Smith, who really freed up my voice, and we sang lots of different songs to get in the feel of it. But yeah, it was a real privilege.
So your singing chops were tested. Now, Jonah, translation. You play a translator. You throw your head back and laugh. How many different languages or parts of language did you have to learn to prepare for this role?
Yeah, he's a guy from Manchester, but he speaks French and he speaks Polish. I didn't have any Polish. Right. I had year 9 French, I would say.
Bonjour.
Yeah, I would probably say bonjour, and I just got it completely wrong. But it was fun. Like it's one of the fun aspects of a show like this, and those kinds of details and those colours to the role make it feel like more of a challenge, but makes it feel more authentic, and it's part of the process. And I had good language teachers, and Zofia, who's a big part in the show, who's from Poland, she was kind of my accent and my language coach. So she really should have got double pay or like double credit or something, because she wasn't just acting. But yeah, it was a really good part of it.
And the scenes in this, and the scenery, and the way that it's shot. I mean, each episode is like a full-on movie, and the whole series is the first year, isn't it, of the Second World War? And some of these action scenes.
And I don't know who's spreading these rumours, but I can. Yeah, that is true. I am.
Yeah. I didn't want to stitch you up there. But it's Clara's first.
It's probably Sean and Julie.
I'm just working with the information I was given. Sean, have you ever had any stunts go wrong, and have you got any advice for Jonah going forward?
Probably, yeah, loads. think.
But look, you
went
survived
right.
them.
Oh yeah. I've been on horses and fell off horses and banged my head and bits and bobs like that. But I've usually been all right. You know?
Well, you have survived quite a few stunts, but in all seriousness, I mean, how do you sort of put yourself in that place when a character is coming to the end of their life in that way?
Just pretty.
You just go with them all.
Yeah,
It's just that.
really. Yeah. I mean, sometimes it helps when you've been stabbed or shot, so you can react, and then the rest of the time you just lay still.
Yeah.
Not bad,
Are
really.
you now actively trying to avoid it and find these roles that you do have a little bit more?
I'm not. I'm kind of trying to avoid it in some sense that it's getting a bit predictable, and people just say, "Do you survive in this?" That's it. You know, that's
because
the first
people fall
question.
in love with your characters so much that it's such a shock when they go. That's why I think
you.
that's seriously why you get cast in that, because you have that.
I'd like to
lovely
think so, you know.
yeah.
But if it was a really good baddie, something like Joe Pesci in Goodfellas or something like that, I'd get shot right at the end. I won't mind that. You know what I mean?
Well, future producers and directors, you have been told that's how Sean wants to go out next time.
There we are. World on Fire begins on Sunday. It's on at 9 o'clock here on BBC One.